It was supposed to be just another quiet day in the new Chicago colony on Mars. The air inside the dome was warm and dry. Outside, the red dust storms moved across the glass like silent waves. Alex Carter had just finished fixing a cracked hydro line in his workshop. He was ready to eat, shower, and sleep. Then came the knock, soft, hesitant, cold. He froze. No one knocked in the colony, not unless it was important. Alex walked to the door, tapped the security screen, and frowned. A figure stood outside, tall and still. He opened the door. She stood there like a statue made of light and steel. Silver skin shimmered in the dim hallway. Long white hair floated slightly, as if it moved with her breath. Her eyes glowed, a soft teal.com, bright, unblinking. Alex forgot how to speak for a moment. "Hello," she said, her voice smooth and musical. "I'm your new neighbor. Unit 4B. My name is Zilara." He blinked. "Oh, welcome. I'm Alex, Unit 4A. She tilted her head gently. "I need help carrying a few items from the transport drone. May I ask for your assistance?" Alex nodded, still unsure if he was dreaming. "Yeah, of course. Lead the way." They walked together down the corridor. Alex tried not to stare, but it was hard. Zilara didn't just look different. She moved differently too, graceful, silent, like gravity worked differently around her. Outside, the drone had dropped off 2 large metal crates. Alex bent down to lift one. It was heavier than it looked. Zilara carried the other with ease. As they reached her door, Alex noticed something strange. She was breathing faster. Her skin was faintly glowing, brighter now. Tiny beads of moisture formed on her forehead. "Are you okay?" he asked. She looked at him with a pause, then nodded slowly. "Yes, it is simply ... warm. I will adjust." She entered her unit without touching him, not even by accident. She didn't offer to shake. Hands didn't smile. But before closing the door, she said, "Thank you for your kindness." Alex stood there for a second, confused, curious. Then he went back to his place. That night, sleep came late. He lay in bed, staring at the ceiling, wondering who was she, really? Why did she come alone? Why did her eyes look so sad? Through the thin colony walls, he heard something, a soft hum, a low sound, almost like singing, but layered with something deeper, pain, hunger. His heart began to race, even though he didn't know why. He got up, walked to the wall, and placed his palm against it. The sound stopped, and he stood there, frozen, unsure of what he felt. Midnight came. The lights in the hallway dimmed. Then, another knock. This time, louder, quicker, urgent. Alex opened the door. Zilara stood there, her skin glowing brighter than before. Her eyes flickered, no longer calm. Her breath was shallow. Her hands trembled slightly. "I'm sorry," she whispered. "I didn't want to disturb you again. It's fine. What's wrong?" She looked at him, as if measuring how much he could handle. Then she spoke in a low, trembling voice. I need your help. Please. It has begun." Alex stared at her, confused. "What has begun?" She stepped closer, holding the wall for balance. "You won't understand yet, but I didn't expect it to start so soon." Her eyes locked onto his. For the first time, he saw real fear in them, and something else. Longing. He reached out, not sure what he was doing. Her hand stopped, just short of his. She shook her head. "No, not yet. If we touch now, ... it may be too much." Alex didn't know what she meant, but his instincts told him this wasn't just a medical problem. This was deeper, stranger. His quiet life on Mars had just changed forever, and he was about to learn that some alien customs were far more dangerous than anyone had warned, and far more intimate. Alex didn't sleep after that. How could he? Zilara's trembling voice still echoed in his mind. "I need your help, please. It has begun." She had refused to explain more, only asked him to stay close, but not too close. Not yet, she returned to her unit with a warning. If I come again, don't touch me. Not unless you're certain. Now, hours later, Alex sat at his kitchen table, staring at his screen. No messages, no alerts. The colony's health system hadn't picked up anything unusual, but he knew what he saw. Her skin was glowing, her breath was sharp and shallow, and her eyes, they weren't just afraid, they were pleading. He couldn't ignore it. At 7 a.m., Alex knocked on her door. No answer. He tried again. Still nothing. But then the door slid open. Zilara stood there, her long hair, messy eyes, dimmer than before. She looked weak, pale, even for a Tyeri. You came, she said, surprised. I thought I scared you. Alex shook his head. I'm just confused. You said something began. What did you mean? Zilara stepped back, allowing him inside. Her room was darker than his. No lights, only soft blue symbols on the wall, glowing with pulsing light. I didn't mean to involve you, she said, sitting down slowly, but I have no choice now. She looked up. Do you know what mating season is, Alex? He froze. No. Should I? Zilara's voice grew softer. In Tyeri culture, we do not choose partners casually. Our biology doesn't allow it. She touched the side of her neck. A faint blue mark pulsed beneath the skin. Every few decades a Tyeri enters the season. It's not just desire. It's pain, hunger, fire in the blood. We're driven by instincts we can't fully control. Alex swallowed. So ... You're saying you're in that phase now? Zilara nodded. It started early. It wasn't supposed to happen for another year. I was meant to return to my homeworld before it began. Alex sat down across from her, trying to stay calm, and now, her eyes locked with his. Now, I'm trapped. If the bonding doesn't complete, I will die. His heart skipped. Bonding with who? She hesitated. That's the part I don't understand. Tyeri bond only with our own kind. But last night, when you touched me, I felt something. Alex blinked. You mean, it worked? It shouldn't have, but yes. She stood and walked to him. I don't want to drag you into this. If we complete the bond, you won't be human anymore. Not fully. There are risks, unknown consequences. Alex looked into her eyes. They weren't glowing now. They looked tired, honest, afraid. But if we don't, he asked. I die, she said quietly. Maybe not today, but soon, and painfully. He felt his pulse racing. His heart told him to hold her. His mind screamed to stay away. How does the bond work? He asked. She looked away. It begins with trust, with time, with touch. Real touch, not just skin, emotion, connection. We must open our minds to each other. She turned back to him. You need to feel what I feel. Accept me as I am. Every broken part, every alien part, even if it frightens you. Alex leaned forward. I don't know what I'm doing, but I know I don't want to watch you die. A silence passed between them. Zilara stepped forward. Her fingers hovered just above his. I can try to slow it down, but not for long. If we wait too much, the pain will take over. Alex gave a slow nod. Then don't wait alone. I'm here now. Her hand touched his. A sudden wave of heat surged through his chest. Not just warmth, memories. A burning forest. A shattered moon. Laughter beneath crystal skies. A voice crying out in a language he didn't know, but somehow understood. He pulled his hand back, gasping. What was that? Zilara was breathing hard. It has begun. You're connected now. Alex looked at his palm. A faint shimmer danced across the skin, like starlight. The bond had started. Outside, the colony alarms remained silent, but inside this small room, everything had changed, and for Alex Carter, there was no turning back. Alex didn't remember falling, But when he opened his eyes, he wasn't in his apartment anymore. He was surrounded by a glowing mist, weightless, timeless. Timeless. All around him were whispers in a language he didn't know. Images floated through the air like memories turned into light. A silver ocean under twin moons. A baby cradled in alien arms. A war. A scream. A single tear falling onto a stone. Then he heard her voice. "Alex, you're in my mind now." Everything went black. He woke up on a soft floor. His body felt numb. His breath came slow and heavy. Solara was beside him, kneeling, her face filled with fear. "I thought you were gone," she whispered. "You shouldn't have survived that." Alex blinked. "What happened?" She placed a glowing crystal near his chest. It pulsed once, then dimmed. "You experienced the first level of bond. The emotional gate." She hesitated. "No human has ever done that before. Not without training, not without dying." He sat up slowly. His head still spun, but his thoughts felt different, lighter, sharper. "I saw things," he said. "Your world, your family, your pain." Solara looked down. "I didn't mean to show you everything. I was trying to block the memories." He reached out, but stopped short. "I felt your fear, and your loneliness." He smiled faintly. "I've felt lonely too." She looked up, eyes wide. Then she laughed softly, not forced, not alien, real. "I didn't think you'd come back from that. Your mind touched mine fully. That shouldn't happen with a human. It's impossible." Alex shook his head. "Maybe I'm just different. Or maybe humanity is stronger than you think." A long silence passed between them, not cold, just full. She sat beside him. Their shoulders almost touched. "I have to explain something," she said. "There are levels to the bond. What happened just now? That was instinct. Survival. You reached out to me when my biology was breaking down, and I reached back." Alex nodded slowly. "So what now? Are we connected forever?" Solara hesitated. "No, not yet. It's only the beginning, but if we go further, yes, it becomes permanent." He looked into her eyes. "I'm not scared." She smiled again, sad this time. "You should be." The next few days passed in a strange rhythm. Alex couldn't stay away, and Solara couldn't ask him to. Every time he got near her, he could feel her presence in his chest, not like a voice, more like a second heartbeat. He'd be fixing wires or adjusting the hydro lines, then suddenly feel sadness or joy, and he'd look up, already knowing Solara was nearby. Sometimes she'd come to his door without knocking, just standing there, silent, needing to be close. One night, as they sat on the balcony watching Mars' twin moons rise, Alex spoke quietly. "Why? Do I feel you, even when I'm not with you?" Solara closed her eyes. "Because we're bound by instinct now. You're inside my cycle, my season. The bond we started is still incomplete, but it's growing." He turned to her. "Does it hurt?" She nodded. "Yes. Every hour I fight, it hurts more. But I don't want to force this on you." He touched her hand gently. This time, she didn't pull away. "Maybe I wasn't meant for this, but I'm already here, and I want to see this through." Her eyes shimmered, not glowing, just wet. "I didn't think humans could care like this," she whispered. "Your race always seemed distant to mine, cold, logical, always chasing science and progress." Alex chuckled. "We chase love too. Sometimes it just hides behind fear." She leaned her head against his shoulder, and for the first time, they sat there, together, in peace. But peace doesn't last in the colony. That night, as Alex tried to sleep, he was pulled awake by a sound, a pulse, deep and vibrating through the floor. The colony security screen lit, up red, an incoming signal. Not human. Solara rushed in, seconds later, pale and shaking. "They know," she said. "They detected the bond. My people. The Watchers are coming. Alex stood up. What do they want? To end it, she said, her voice hollow. They will never allow this bond to exist. She looked at him with tears forming in her eyes. They will take me, or kill you, or both. Alex clenched his fists. Let them try. The message came with no sound, just a glowing symbol on the screen. Cold, sharp, ancient. Zilara stared at it. Her breath caught in her throat. Alex stepped forward. What does it say? She didn't answer right away. Her hand trembled as she touched the screen. Then she read the words aloud. One of your kind has broken sacred code. The Watchers are coming. End the bond or face extinction. Alex clenched his jaw. Who are they? Zilara turned to him. The Watchers are enforcers. Old HFY, trained to erase what should not exist. They keep our bloodlines pure. They protect our rules. And they never forgive mistakes. He stepped closer. And this bond, they see it as a mistake. Zilara nodded. No, they see it as a crime. The colony lights dimmed as an alert flashed across the walls. Unidentified. Ship entering orbit. Non-human signature. Alex watched from his balcony as the sky above Mars flickered. A sleek black vessel hovered just above the dome, silent and still. No one else in the colony knew what it meant. Not yet. But Alex and Zilara did. The Watchers had arrived. Back inside, Zilara began packing what little she had. Her hands moved fast. Her breath was uneven. Alex grabbed her arm. Hey, slow down. We'll figure this out. She shook her head. You don't understand. The Watchers don't negotiate. If they find us bonded, they will erase you first. Then they'll erase me for letting it happen. Alex frowned. I'm not going to let them hurt you. She looked at him, eyes burning. It's not about courage. It's about biology. Our people aren't meant to merge. The bond, it rewrites DNA. It changes the brain. You're already starting to feel it, aren't you? He paused. He had the dreams. The sudden flashes of alien feelings. The way he knew her sadness before she even spoke. Yes, he admitted. But I don't care. You're worth it. Tears welled up in her eyes. No one has ever said that to me before. He reached for her hand again, and this time, she didn't stop him. The bond pulsed again. This time, it wasn't pain. It was strength, like fire and light wrapped around their hearts. But the moment was broken by a sound, a thud, followed by another, and another. Alex rushed to the window. Outside, 3 tall figures in dark armor walked toward the colony gates. Their skin shimmered, with the same silver glow as Zilara's, but colder. Their eyes were pure white, no emotion, no hesitation. They're here, Zilara whispered. They found us. Suddenly, Alex's communicator lit up. It was from his old friend, Jonas, one of the engineers. Alex, you need to get out of there. Those things just bypassed security like it was nothing. They're not human, are they? Alex didn't answer. He was already moving. Pack your tools, he told Zilara. We're not staying. 10 minutes later, they met in the underground transport tunnel. The colony had emergency shuttles. Small, fast, not meant for long trips, but enough to get them off Mars. They moved quickly through the metal corridors, lights flickering behind them. The Watchers were close. Alex could feel it. So could Zilara. Her hand clutched his. Her skin burned hot now. The bond was fully awake. It was no longer just emotional. It was physical, chemical. They needed each other now, not just to survive, but to stay sane. At the shuttle bay, the doors were sealed. Alex hacked the panel, sweat running down his back. Zilara stood watch, her senses sharper than his. I can hear them, she said. They're speaking in High Tieri. They've already decided. They won't listen to anything I say. Alex slammed his fist into the panel. The doors opened, but just as they stepped inside, another figure appeared. Tall, silver, beautiful, but different. Her eyes weren't white. They were gold. Zalara gasped. The new figure stepped forward, calm and quiet. You shouldn't have bonded with a human sister. Alex stared between them. Sister Zalara nodded, her voice breaking. Yes, this is Velis. She's not just a watcher. She's the High Enforcer. Velis raised her hand. I came to give you one chance. End it now. Sever the bond, and your human lives. Alex stepped forward. His voice was low. Steady. No. Velis looked at him. You would defy Teari law for her. Alex didn't blink. I'd defy the universe for her. Velis didn't reply. She simply turned away and spoke one word. Trial. Zalara's breath caught. No, not that. Alex turned to her. What's the trial? She whispered. The trial of truth. A test no human has ever survived. A bond test of body, soul, and memory. Alex stared at the watchers as they opened a portal of shimmering light. He turned back to Zalara. You said this bond needs truth, so let's show them everything. He took her hand. I'm ready. Alex didn't sleep. There was no time after Velis declared the trial. Everything changed. The watchers gave them 3 days. 3 days to prepare. 3 days to say goodbye. But Alex wasn't planning on staying for the trial. He was planning an escape. Back in his quarters, the lights were dim. Zalara sat at the edge of his bed, her face pale, her hands clenched tightly in her lap. The trial of truth is not just a test, she said softly. It's a breaking. They will force you to relive every moment of pain, every mistake, every fear. If your bond with me isn't strong enough, it will crush you. And me too. Alex leaned against the wall, arms crossed, jaw tight. They want me to fail. That's the point. Zalara nodded. No human has ever passed. They think you'll go mad or die trying. He stepped forward. I won't give them that chance. Her eyes rose slowly. What do you mean? We run. His voice was calm, firm. We leave Mars. We disappear before the trial begins. Zalara blinked. But where would we go? Alex gave a small smile. I know someone, a smuggler. Name's Ren. He owes me a favor. 2 hours later, they met Ren in the hidden tunnel beneath the colony's lower deck. He was old, grumpy, and smelled like machine oil. But he had what they needed. A stolen Teari-class shuttle. Fast, silent, illegal. Alex Ren grunted, lighting a small metal stick between his lips. I knew you'd call when things got weird. Alex grinned. You ever smuggle aliens off a planet before? Ren looked at Zalara, then gave a low whistle. Beautiful. Dangerous. Yeah, this is your kind of problem. Zalara stayed quiet, her eyes scanning every corner. Can you get us out before the watchers notice? Alex asked. Ren snorted. If I can't, no one can. But it'll cost you. I'll owe you 2 favors. Ren laughed. Make it 3. I want your coffee stash too. Deal. That night, Zalara stood on the observation deck, looking out at the Martian sky. Red dust curled in soft waves. The stars above twinkled like frozen music. Alex walked up behind her, quiet. You all right? She nodded slowly. Running will make us fugitives in both our worlds. He stepped beside her. I don't care about the law anymore. I care about you. She looked at him. You barely knew me a week ago. He smiled. Sometimes, it only takes a moment. Zalara's eyes shimmered. Her voice dropped to a whisper. I'm scared, Alex. The bond is almost complete. If we run and something goes wrong, we won't survive apart. Alex gently took her hand. His thumb brushed over her fingers. I'm not going anywhere without you. She turned to face him, then, without warning, she kissed him. It was soft, warm, not fire this time, but light, like finding air after drowning. When they pulled away, her voice trembled. Now the bond is sealed. We are one. Alex felt it, not just in his heart, in his blood, in his bones. as if the universe had tilted slightly and settled into place. The next morning, they were ready. The shuttle was loaded. The route was clear. They only had to make it to the outer bay, but nothing is ever that easy. As they moved through the loading zone, alarms began to ring. Lights flashed red. Doors slammed shut behind them. Solara's eyes went wide. They found us. 3 watchers. Dropped down from the ceiling, landing in silence. Their bodies moved like shadows. Fast, unstoppable. Alex pulled Solara behind a crate. Ren's voice buzzed through the comm. Move. I've got 10 seconds before this ship's camo shuts down. If you're not on it, I'm leaving without you. Alex looked at Solara. Can you trust me? She nodded. Always. He activated a flash grenade from his belt and tossed it across the hall. Light exploded. The watchers froze for 1 second. That's all they needed. Alex grabbed Solara's hand and ran. Down the corridor. Through the gate. Past the fire. And smoke. They leaped onto the ramp just as the shuttle began to rise. Behind them, Vela stepped into the bay. Her gold eyes glowed brighter than ever. She raised her hand, and just before the doors closed, she said one word. You cannot run forever. Inside the shuttle, breathless, Alex and Solara collapsed into the cockpit seats. He looked at her, chest heaving. She laughed softly through her tears. You're insane. He smiled. I'm in love. And somewhere deep inside the stars, far from laws and trials. They finally had a chance. But the Watchers would never forget. And neither of them had any idea what the bond would become next. The shuttle floated in orbit, just outside the Martian surveillance grid. Below, the red planet turned slowly, cold, silent, unaware. Inside the small ship, Alex stood at the window, arms crossed, heart pounding. Solara sat behind him, her hands pressed to her temples. The bond between them was growing faster now. They could feel each other's breath, each thought, each fear. Something's coming, she whispered. Alex turned to her. What do you mean? Solara opened her eyes. I feel her, Velis. She's close, too close. Alex's communicator buzzed. The screen lit up with a single transmission request. From a Tyeri signal. He accepted the call. A hologram flickered to life. It was Velis, still calm, still cold. But this time, alone. Alex Carter, she said, her voice like stone. You and my sister have broken a code older than your planet. This bond cannot exist. Alex stepped closer. But it does. Velis stared at him, unblinking, unshaken. Return to Mars. Face the trial, or you will be hunted until your last breath. My hands are tied by duty. But I offer one chance. A private meeting. No guards, no weapons. Just the 3 of us. Agree, and I will delay the hunt. Solara moved beside Alex. Her voice shook. Why are you doing this, Velis? Velis paused, and for the first time, her voice softened. Because you're my sister. And I still remember the day you were born. They met on the surface of Phobos, Mars' smallest moon. Neutral ground. No colonies, no cameras, no laws. Alex and Solara stepped out of the shuttle onto cracked, frozen rock. The sky above them looked broken. Stars flickered like shattered glass. Velis stood alone near a glowing Tyeri beacon. Her armor was gone. She wore a simple white robe, like their ancient priests. When Solara stepped forward, Velis said nothing. Then she turned to Alex. You have changed her. I can feel it in the bond. Alex didn't move. She changed me too. Velis lowered her gaze. I was chosen as a watcher when I was still a child. I gave up family, love, emotion, to protect our race. I believed in purity. Her voice cracked. But when I felt your bond from orbit, I didn't feel corruption. I felt warmth. She looked at her sister. You never smiled as a child. Not truly. But now, with him, your heart is alive. Zalara reached out. Then don't make us fight you. Let us go. Veles stepped back. I can't. My orders are final. I must bring you in, or destroy the bond. Alex stepped forward. Then let's go to the trial. Together. Watch it for yourself. If our bond is fake, I'll break it. I'll walk away. But if it's real, will you protect us? Veles looked at him, her face unreadable. Then she spoke softly. If you survive the trial, I will stand beside you, even if it means breaking the code. Back on the shuttle, Zalara sat in silence. Her hands gripped Alex's tightly. She was trembling. You don't understand what the trial really is, she said. It isn't a court. It's a ritual, a soul test. You will be pulled into a dream space, a maze of memory, fear, and truth. If we lie to each other, if we hide pain or shame, the trial will tear us apart. Alex brushed her cheek gently. I'm not afraid of truth. I just want us to be free. Zalara leaned into his touch. I have things I've never told anyone. Darkness inside me. He nodded. So do I, but maybe love is choosing each other anyway. Tears formed in her eyes. We don't deserve this bond. It wasn't meant for us. Alex smiled. Maybe not, but it's ours now. The shuttle began its descent. The trial site was deep beneath Mars' surface, a forgotten Tyeri temple, carved into black crystal. No human had ever set foot inside. As they landed, Veles waited in silence. Beside her, ancient priests of the Tyeri prepared the chamber. Alex and Zalara stood together at the entrance. One final breath, one final look. Then, they stepped into the trial of truth. The temple was alive, not with machines, but with memory. The walls glowed with soft blue veins, pulsing like the heartbeat of a sleeping god. The floor beneath Alex's boots felt warm, even though they were deep underground. He looked to his right. Zalara stood beside him, her face calm but pale. Ahead, the priests formed a circle around the trial core, a tall pillar of dark crystal that shimmered like water in starlight. Veles stood behind them, silent, watching. No more orders, no more threats, just truth. A voice filled the chamber. It came from everywhere and nowhere. Step forward, begin. Zalara reached for Alex's hand. Her touch was steady, but inside, he could feel her fear. Whatever happens, he whispered, I'm with you. She nodded. They stepped into the circle. The moment their feet touched the inner ring, the world changed. Alex opened his eyes, but he wasn't in the temple anymore. He stood in a field of burning stars. The sky above him was endless. Below, the ground shifted with living light. Zalara stood across from him, but her eyes were glowing white, and her voice came out in layers. You are now inside the bond core. The trial will show you each other's truths. No lies, no masks. A sharp wind blew, and suddenly, Alex was no longer standing. He was 7 years old, hiding under a table, hearing his parents scream. Then he was 16, losing his best friend in a colony collapse, feeling helpless, blaming himself. Then 22, alone, working, watching his dreams fade, one by one. Zalara watched it all, every tear, every mistake, every moment he had buried deep. She didn't look away. Then it was her turn. Alex watched her childhood, isolated, trained, told never to feel. He saw her first love, a Tyeri boy who died during bonding because they were too young. He felt her guilt, her silence, the crushing loneliness that came after. He saw her exile, her decision to leave the homeworld before the season began, choosing pain over risking anyone else. She had never meant to bond again. Until him, Alex reached out in the vision. But a voice stopped him. Now comes the final test. Speak your deepest truth. Zalara stepped forward, her eyes back to Teal, her voice trembling. I wasn't supposed to love you. I tried not to. I thought it was a weakness. But now I know. It's my only strength. Alex stepped into the light beside her. My truth, he said. I was broken before I met you. You didn't just give me love. You gave me purpose. If I die now, I'll die whole. The ground shook. The stars above cracked open, and from the core of the temple, light exploded. Not cold, not violent, warm, golden, alive. The chamber returned. The priests stepped back, eyes wide. Even Velis was stunned. Xe. Lara and Alex stood in the center, still holding hands. Still alive. The trial core glowed in response to their bond. A voice echoed through the room. Truth accepted. Bond confirmed. Human and Tyeri are now one. Velis stepped forward, her voice soft. I thought I came here to destroy something forbidden, but instead, I witnessed something pure. She turned to the priests. I stand with them. This bond will mark the beginning of a new path. Later that day, outside the temple, Alex looked up at the Martian sky for the first time. It felt open. Free. Xe. Lara stood beside him, her hand in his. Their minds no longer separate. Their hearts no longer afraid. He smiled. So, what now? She smiled back. Now we build a life. One not defined by blood, or law, or fear. Alex leaned in, his forehead touching hers. And we make sure the stars never forget what love can do.